Heixiazi Island, located in northeastern China, was once under the control of the Soviet Union for a long time. It was not until 2004 that this land inherited from the Soviet Union was officially returned to China by Russia. However, in order to achieve this goal, China and Russia jointly signed this supplementary agreement on the eastern sector of the China-Russia boundary after consultations. Under the agreement, Russia agreed to return approximately 42,000 acres of land. In the following more than 10 years, China invested huge attention and funds in this land, including the construction of infrastructure such as roads, railways, and communications, which greatly promoted local economic development. But now, Russia is beginning to have second thoughts about the returned land. During his visit to China in February last year, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov put forward a bold proposal. He hoped that Russia and China would jointly develop Heixiazi Island. Although China did not immediately give a clear answer at the time, this proposal laid the foundation for future cooperation. Then, until October last year, Russian President Vladimir Putin visited China again, hoping to further promote this strategic plan. This time, China showed clear support. So, what kind of strategic plan is this? As far as I know, Heixiazi Island, a peaceful piece of land located in Heilongjiang Province, China, has a total length of approximately 58,800 meters, a maximum width of 14,000 meters, and a total area of approximately 82,780 acres. The island has a gentle terrain with an average altitude of about 40 meters. The origin of the name of this island is quite interesting. Because there were many black bears living on this island in the past, and the bears were called Heixiazi in the local dialect, the island was also named Heixiazi Island. But historically, this land has been China's territory since ancient times. As early as the Tang Dynasty, China established a governor-general's office here. There are many evidences left in the long history, showing that the Chinese have lived on this land for a long time. For Russia, although Heixiazi Island is only one of its remote eastern frontiers, this small island located on the border between Russia and China has strategic value that cannot be underestimated. It is not only Russia's strategic outpost in the Far East, but also an important node for direct exchanges between Russia and other Asian countries, especially China. As relations between Russia and China continue to deepen and regional cooperation continues to strengthen, this remote island has gradually highlighted its geopolitical importance and has become a key element of Russia's policy in the Far East. In the past few years, under the background that the Russian-Ukrainian conflict has gradually become beneficial to Russia, Western countries have increasingly intensified sanctions on Russia. Amid tense relations with the West, Russia desperately needs China's support. When facing economic difficulties, Russia looked forward to financial assistance from the outside, and China just extended a helping hand. Among them, China has imported a large amount of Russian oil and gas resources in the past 2 years, providing direct support to Russia in trouble. It is precisely because of this kind of mutual assistance and cooperation that the relationship between China and Russia has become increasingly close and gradually developed into a solid ally between each other. But now, Russia still needs to jointly develop Heixiazi Island with China to seek greater interests. According to data released by China-Russia trade volume reached $218.18 billion in the first 11 months of this year, not only achieving the $200 billion target ahead of schedule, but also growing by 26.7% year-on-year. This significant growth is undoubtedly positive, but it also brings new challenges, especially in terms of transport pressure at border crossings. In fact, there has been a serious traffic jam problem at the Russian side of the port. In order to cope with this challenge, Russia proposed to build new border ports in order to alleviate the growing transportation pressure. On the other hand, since the black blind man was divided into two, The development situations on both sides have shown a sharp contrast. China has rapidly developed the western part of the island, not only building highways within the area under its control but also connecting the island to other cities through the Wusa Bridge. Now, this land once returned to China is about to undergo major changes. Senior Russian official Trutnev revealed in public that Russia's Look East strategy has begun to be implemented on this land, and more than 20 investment projects are underway, of which China is an important partner. Russia's Far East economic strategy covers three major projects: the Kuril Islands Investment Project, the Heixiazi Island Port Project, and the Northern Waterway Investment Project. According to the plan of the Heixiazi Island Port Project, China and Russia plan to establish an open port on Heixiazi Island to connect trade between the two countries and establish a China-Russia free trade zone. This plan is of great significance to both parties. Heixiazi Island is located on the border between China and Russia and has always been an important passage between the two countries. Once China and Russia establish a free trade area here, Fuyuan will become an important logistics center in China's Northeast Asia. With its superior geographical location and complete transportation network, goods here will be able to quickly flow to Russia, China, and even other countries and regions. According to statistics, it is expected that more than 10 million tons of goods will be traded here every year, providing great convenience for international trade and personnel exchanges. In addition, China and Russia's plan to jointly develop Heixiazi Island will also attract many investments and companies to settle in, and is expected to create more than 30,000 local jobs, effectively alleviating the employment problems of both countries. Importantly, Russia also plans to build energy pipelines on the island to more conveniently transport energy to China. Once implemented, these projects are expected to generate billions of dollars in revenue for Russia. In order to promote the implementation of this plan, in October 2023, President Putin proposed the construction of a border port on Heixiazi Island during his visit to China, to which China responded positively. Considering that China imported an average of 2.2 million barrels of oil per day from Russia in 2022, while Russia's average daily oil exports in 2022 were 5.31 million barrels. This means that China accounts for nearly 50% of Russia's total oil exports. Obviously, the construction of this port is not only crucial to meeting China's growing energy needs, but also provides Russia with an effective solution to ease its energy export transportation problems. However, the idea of developing the Heixiazi Island Free Trade Zone has not been smooth sailing. This ambitious project involves many complex areas, including policy coordination, infrastructure construction, market opening, and the integration of laws and regulations. This undoubtedly requires China and Russia to invest huge human, material, and financial resources. The war in Ukraine in 2022 will focus most of Russia's resources and attention on military operations, making it difficult for it to fully participate in the cooperative development of the free trade area. For China, if it unilaterally undertakes this huge cooperation project, it means huge financial investment, which is not the result China expects. Fortunately, as the situation in the Ukrainian war gradually becomes clearer and comes to an end, Russia is expected to turn more attention back to domestic economic construction and development. Against this background, China is naturally willing to continue to promote bilateral cooperation with Russia and work together to transform the concept of the Heixiazi Island Free Trade Zone into reality. Such cooperation will not only help strengthen economic and trade ties between the two countries, but also promote the common prosperity of the entire region's economy.